Today our topic is punctuation marks. All we use punctuation marks while making any sentences or in a written material or printed text. But what are the punctuation marks and how we use punctuation marks in sentences of any language, and why we use punctuation marks in sentences? So the meaning of punctuation marks are like, or you can say that punctuation marks are visual indicators which are used to separate the sense of a part of a sentence from another sentence. And you can say that if there is a passage without punctuation mark, then this passage is not readable. So the punctuation marks are used to make the written or printed text readable. It's easy to read with the punctuation marks are used in a sentence or in any written material or printed text. So these are very compulsory while using any language and while making sentences. And in written text or in written material or printed text, it's not possible to read the passage without punctuation marks because it's not looks natural and according to the sense if we use sentences without punctuation marks. So there are many types of punctuation marks which we use in sentence. Like first one is full stop. Second one is comma. Third one is dash. Fourth one is hyphen. Fifth one is colon. Sixth one is semicolon. Seventh one is double inverted commas. And the eighth one is single inverted commas. Ninth one is exclamatory mark. And 10th one is question mark. Next one is apostrophe. And next one is parenthesis. And you can also include capital letters under the category of punctuation marks. So next one is capital letters. We start with the first type of punctuation marks, that is full stop. Full stop we use, and it is used to mark or at the end of the sentence, and sentence may be affirmative, negative and imperative. Like that we write down any sentences which may be affirmative and negative and imperative, like listen to me. And we use full stop after completing the sentence, like listen to me. This is the end of the sentence and we will put full stop after this sentences. So first use of full stop is to mark the end of any affirmative, imperative and negative sentences. And the second use is full stop is also used in short forms or in abbreviations like MBBS or Mr., Mrs., Messrs. So these are the use of full stop when we use these punctuation marks according to the sense in a sentence. And next punctuation marks is comma. Why we use comma? You can say it's like a pause in a sentence. So comma is a pause in a sentence. Pause means little break. When you want to take a little break between the sentences or in a sentence, then you have to put comma in a sentence. Like if you want to avoid any word that may be verb or conjunction, and then we use comma. Like see the sentence, if you work hard, you will pass in the exam. So in this sentence, we omit then word, and if then the part of conjunction. So this is the case of omission of conjunction. And if you see the next sentence, you can do that work I never. So this is the case of omission of verb. So first use of comma, that comma is used to omit any word, and word may be a verb mostly or a conjunction. And first sentence we have omit then word, which is a conjunction, and in second sentence we omit do verb, that is a verb. And the second use of comma is that it is used to separate the subject and the long preceding sentence from the rest of the sentence. Like see the sentence, it is I who have done this work. So in this sentence, comma is used to separate the subject from the rest of the sentence, or you can say long preceding sentence or long preceding phrase. So in that case, we can also use comma. And the next use of comma, it is used to separate the parts of a speech from the rest of the sentences. Like he's tall, smart, and intelligent. So in that case, we separate many parts of speech from the rest of the sentences. So we can use comma in that case. And see the next case, it is used also to mark off the direct quotation from the person. Like he said, you are my friend. So in this case, we have used comma before starting double inverted commas. So to quote or to mark off the direct quotation of a person, we have to use comma before starting inverted commas. So these are the uses of comma when we use comma in a sentence. The next punctuation marks is dash. Dash, it is a long horizontal line, and the hyphen is a short horizontal line. So that is the main difference between the looks of dash and hyphens. So dash we use in place of colon, or you can say parenthesis. When we want to list examples and enumerations, then it's option we have choose. Either we put dash or colon. So dash and colon. Dash and colon, both punctuation marks are used in a sentence interchangeably, and you can use dash or you can use colon to list the examples and enumerations in a sentence. Like when we write any definition, and after putting the definition we have give some examples, then we use for example. And after these words, for example, we can use colon or dash. Like in a case of enumerations, see the sentence, these are the points to be kept in your mind. When we write down the characteristics or features, parts of any topic, then we have to write down the single sentence. These are the points, these are the characteristics, and these are the parts should be followed or should be kept in your mind. So after this line, we can put dash or colon. It's up to you according to the requirements of the sentence. And the next use of dash, it is used to separate the expression of a sentence from the another sentence. Like, she is, after all, your mother. So, when we want to separate the expression of the sentence or of a part of a sentence from the rest of the sentence, then we use dash between a sentence. And next use of dash is, it is used to present the views of a person. Like, he says. After the word he says, we use dash. Frailty, the name is woman. So it is the quotation, exact words of a famous dramatist Shakespeare. But when we want to use these quotations without putting double inverted commas or comma, then we can use these words or these exact words of a person with the help of dash. He says, or you can say Shakespeare says, frailty thy name is woman. These are the uses of dash. And the next punctuation marks is hyphen. Hyphen, in comparison to dash, it's a short horizontal line, and hyphen is used to join two or more words in a compound word. See the examples like daughter-in-law. And another example, commander-in-chief. So this is the case of joining two or more than two words in a compound word. Like in compound sentences, we join more than two sentences or more than one sentences in a sentence, in a single sentence. In the same way, we use more than one word or more than two words in a compound words. So that's the main use of hyphen. And the next punctuation marks is colon. As I have already told you that colon and dash are used in a sentence interchangeably. So colon is used to list example enumeration. Like, same examples of dash. For example, after four examples, you can use colon. And enumeration case, these are the points should be followed or to be kept in your mind, then you can use colon. So this is the main use of colon. And the next part of the speech is semicolon. Semicolon is more like that comma, but it's a longer pause, not a little break, but a longer break, longer pause in a sentence. Like if you want to separate, and it is used in a sentence to separate the different parts of a sentence from the rest of the sentences. Like see the quotation or see the proverbs, man proposes and God disposes, and reading make the full man, and conference a ready man, and writing an exact man. So in this quotation is very famous quotation by Francis Bacon. You can use after reading make the full man. You can see that after this sentence, reading make the full man, it's a longer break. And you think that there should be a full stop or a comma, but it is the middle level of a full stop or a comma. It is longer break than comma, but a shorter break than full stop. So see the example. Reading make the full man. Conference a ready man, and writing an exact man. So this is the use of semicolon, and in many cases we can use semicolons. Like if we omit any word, and if we want to put a longer break, a longer pause in a sentence, then we use semicolons. And mostly in proverbs and sayings we use semicolon. And the next punctuation marks is double inverted commas. The main use of double inverted commas is that it is used to mark, or it is used to quote the exact words of a person being said. Like, see the example. He said, "You are my friend." So in this sentence, we have used double inverted commas before the exact words of a person. So in that case, we use, like we do direct and indirect exercises. So direct speech. A direct speech is what? The exact words of a person. So to quote the exact word of a person, we use double inverted commas. And next one is single inverted commas. Single inverted commas are used to cite the quotation within another quotations. Like these are the, in double inverted commas, these are the exact words of a person. And if he has used some other quotation within another quotation, within his exact words, then we use single inverted commas to cite the quotation within a quotation. Like, she felt they seem to have forgotten that art lies in concealing art. So in this sentence, in double inverted commas, these are the exact words of the person. But we have used a quotation, art lies in concealing art, within the double inverted commas. So if you want to use a quotation within the another quotation, within the another direct speech, then we have to use single inverted commas to cite the quotation, another quotation within a quotation. And the next one is exclamatory mark. Mostly the main use of exclamatory mark is used and to mark the end of exclamatory sentences and optative sentences, or you can say to present or to show the sudden or strong emotion or a wish. To highlight these feelings, we have to use exclamatory mark. Like, see the examples of optative sentences. First one is, may God bless you. This is the optative sentence and we have used exclamatory mark after the sentence. May God bless you. This is the case of feeling of pray. And another example of exclamatory sentence, like, how wonderful this building is. So this is the case of exclamatory sentences. So mostly exclamatory mark is used in optative sentences and exclamatory sentences to show or to highlight the feelings of praise or sudden emotion, surprise or sadness, or you can say a wish. And the next punctuation mark is question mark. All of we use question mark after interrogative sentences. So the main use of interrogative mark, or you can say question mark, is to use to mark the end of an interrogative sentences. Like, are you a fool? So this is the what are you doing? How are you? So these are the examples of interrogative sentences, and we have used a question mark after these types of sentences, means interrogative sentences. And the next punctuation mark is apostrophe. So apostrophe mark we have used to show the position of a noun, mainly singular noun, because there are a lot of rules for using a plural noun, or you can say after the ending of name with s. So mainly in singular nouns we have used apostrophe marks to show the position of a person, of a singular noun. Like, see the example, Ram's book. This is Ram's book. So book is the possession of Ram. But in plural cases, we put apostrophe mark after s, like boy's book. In this case, we have used apostrophe mark before s, but in that case, we have used apostrophe mark after s. And if any name ends with s, then how can we use apostrophe mark? Like, if we can write down the poet name T.S. Eliot, then we can use Eliot's poems. But when we have write down the name John Keats, this name ends with s, then we avoid apostrophe mark, only Keats' poems. So these are the rules for using apostrophe mark in a sentence. Our next punctuation mark is parenthesis, and we generally use speaking parenthesis brackets. Parentheses are used to highlight or to show the alternative of a word, and it is used by introducing some new words, phrase or a sentence. Like, see the word Pressy, and you can also put the meaning between brackets or parentheses like that. 1/3 summary. And see the examples like Friday, the name is woman. If we want to write down the meaning of this quotation, then we have used parentheses to show the meaning of that quotation. So it is used to present alternatives of the same words. And the next part of speech is capital letters. When we use capital letters, so these are the lot of rules while we using capital letters. Like if any sentence ends with a full stop, then after full stop we start a new sentence with using capital letters. And with using capital letters, and in the case of person's name or title, then like Sachin the Master Blaster. So to present the title, we use capital letters, not small letters. So if we write down the direct speech, like he said, "You are my friend," under double inverted commas, we start a sentence with capital letters. Or in abbreviation or in short forms, we almost, not completely, but almost use capital letters. So these are the punctuations which are very, very important while using any language or while write down any sentences related to any language. So if there is a paragraph before you to read without punctuation marks, that it's not possible to read the passage without punctuation marks. So these are very, very compulsory for writing any sentence or any language or any paragraphs.